Hi, guys. I'm Maria. I'm here with Valentin. Hi, Val.
Hi,
How are
hi
you?
guys. Very good.
We're here. First, hello to everyone that is watching us on Twitter, on YouTube, on Facebook, whatever you are. Thank you for your time. Here we are going to answer a bunch of questions that we've got the last week. So let's kick it off and start with our Q&A. So the first question is already in the screen, but Lina from Colombia wants to know what's the difference between shared folders, collaborators, and co-teachers.
All right, excellent question. Let me switch to a screen share for this.
Yep.
Here we go. Good. So maybe let me start off with what both share in common, right? So both shared folders, collaborators, and co-teachers are meant as a school license feature to help you organize and collaborate within a team, right? So think of it as a team feature. And so what you can do is, for example, with shared folders collaborators, that you can invite other teachers to your shared folder. So if you have a folder here, for example, this one's unshared, right? You can see it doesn't have like this icon, and this one does. This is a shared folder. This is a non-shared folder. And when you share a folder, your collaborators can join and access that same folder and edit and add and even delete, questions within that folder. And everyone who is part of that folder will see the latest changes. So it can be used by a math team, right? Or the entire school, or sometimes it's the district leadership that creates certain question sets and then invites everyone to join. So there are different ways and different subgroups of how you can share a folder, right? So if you go into this folder now, and this is just one example, I can here add a collaborator, and then I can add now from the Classtime team, I can add now, for example, Maria, you are part of our school license here, the Classtime team, so I can add you and make this a shared folder so that now it has all the shared thingy icons, which means that you will also be able now to see this data, these question sets in your folder. Now, moving over to classes. So any premium user can set up classes, but maybe you want to share a class with a co-teacher, right? So a co-teacher also needs to be part of your school. We can't allow, to invite other people that are not part of an organization, because a co-teacher can access all of your student data, can access all of your sessions, can also create sessions and invite your students to a session. So it's really someone who can support you and co-teach actually with a session, but also someone who can access the data of your past sessions that you've invited them to that class, right? And have them see and learn from that data. So for example, here, this is one class. I don't have any co-teacher. Oh, no, I actually do have a co-teacher. I am a co-teacher, I see. So Fulia here is the class owner, and she invited me as a co-teacher. So I can't change co-teachers, but I can access now all of the sessions and the class that she owns, and I can also invite more students. So here, for example, this one I own, right? So here you can see that I'm the class owner, but I have you, Maria, as my co-teacher. So you too can now access this class and see all this data. And managing co-teachers is also, again, just like shared folders within the same organization. So that's, just a data security measure, making sure that, only people that are in a trusted organization can collaborate with you. Those are the differences in terms of and similarities between shared folder collaborators and co-teachers in the classes. It's always a teacher, a colleague that you know or should know, right?
Yeah. So I think the next one is still in the same subject, is from John. Can I add my colleagues as co-teachers if they are not registered on Classtime?
So that's a good question. So if you invite a student, right, you can invite a student via email. So you can invite anyone you'd like. That is not the case for co-teachers, right? So they need to first be registered and be part of your school or organization on Classtime before you can add them. So the answer to this question is no. You cannot add colleagues as co-teachers if they are not registered on Classtime. They need to register first, become part of your organization, and then you'll be able to see them and add them to your list.
Yeah. And Pamela from Mexico, she also has a very similar question that it's, can I add a colleague who is not on the same school license as a co-teacher? It's very interesting.
Yeah. So, that's a slight difference, right? So you might be registered on Classtime, right? And you might be using Classtime, but you cannot invite a teacher from another school because this is a part of the school license feature. So only within your organization, right, are you able to add co-teachers. So here the answer would also be like, no, you'd first have to make sure that they can all be part of the same organization before you can actually invite them.
Okay. I think the next one is a little different, but it's still very interesting. Yael from Honduras. If I add an audio file to my question, can I also add an image? So she wanted to add both at the same time, right?
So right now, when you create a new question, right, you can add an image, you can add a YouTube video via link, or you can upload an audio file, MP3, to listen to, right? And that's part of the question description. So then you can combine it with any of the question types below. So the question is, can you add an image and also audio?
Yeah.
The answer as of today is no. So today you have to choose, do you want to upload an audio file, an image, or a YouTube video? You cannot combine two or more in the same description. But that is something we've heard already, especially combinations of like an image and audio. So that is definitely something that's on our product roadmap, and we'll be looking more closely in the future.
Yeah. What we do have right now is that people still can add a hotspot, right, image to one of the options.
Absolutely.
And use the audio.
Exactly, because the hotspot is a question type, right? So you can still add images into the answer options, right, and everything. But in terms of the description part, you can only add a descriptive image or an audio file.
Okay. So Mira from Honduras as well is asking, will Classtime launch a feature to record an audio note directly in a question? Because right now we only can upload already a recorded file, correct?
Correct. So when you click on audio, I don't think you can see this on the screen share, but it opens up your folder local, so you can upload any file. We currently do not have a built-in recorder, but that is something we'll definitely look into because obviously it's more convenient if you can just record it directly. We showed this in a previous webinar that you can go to like online-voice-recorder.com. That's a tool that makes it very easy to just record any audio, right? And once you're done, you save it. This generates an MP3 file that you can directly upload into here. But we get it, and we understand that it would be easier if you had this feature straight in, the creator. So that's definitely something we can do, and that we will look into as we move along.
Okay. And I think we have the last one as well from Yael from Honduras. She's asking, are you working on integrations with any LMSs?
Okay, great. So for people that don't know, LMS, right, is a learning management system. So there are many LMSs, right, like Canvas or Moodle,
Google Classroom.
or Google Classroom, right, recently. So we are actively developing the Google Classroom integration right now. I think the first public version will be available within the next 2 weeks. And this integration will allow you to import your classes entirely into Classtime. So if you have a Google Classroom class, I can show this quickly. Classroom, right? If you have a Google Classroom class with a few students already, like here, now this is only one student, obviously, or two. Here we go. You'll be able to click on import from Google Classroom, and it will load all the classes into here so that you have all your students already pre-populated and also auto-verified. So they won't get an email, but they will immediately be part of this class, which will allow you to invite your classes even faster from within the session. In the next steps, which we'll also be working on, is you can also create assignments directly in Google Classroom with a link for students to join a Classtime session. And then eventually you'll even be able to push back your scores from Classtime into Google Classroom. So this is the first LMS we're really focusing on integrating it. And we have high expectations. We have a lot of requests for it. So I think it's going to be a great success and a very useful feature for a lot of educators out there. And then based on that, we'll obviously focus on adding additional LMSs throughout the weeks and months to come.
Yeah, Yeah, that's great news. I think that's all for today. If you have any other questions, please leave in the comments below or just ask us in any of our social channels. Thank you, Val, for helping me and answering the questions, and a great rest of the week for everyone that's watching.
Absolutely. Thank you all, and feel free to join us in our Facebook educator community, right? The links below, so you can stay up to date on all our upcoming improvements and answer all your questions at any time, and also engage, obviously, with many other educators around the world. So thank you all, and take care.
Yeah.
Bye, Malu.
Bye-bye.